Hello, welcome to Maltbox, the non-chill filtered whiskey blog. I'm Andy, this is Winston, and this is Whisky Review number 76. And what we have for you today is something very special indeed, isn't it, buddy? And that's because it comes in the form of this. I can't reach because of the cat on me. There you go. Bimber Re-Charred, which is an English single malt whiskey distilled at the Bimber Distillery in London. Okay, buddy. Alright, we get the message. We get the message. Hit me in the face with the tail. That's fine. This is fine. This is fine. This is not going to get old at all. No, yeah, no, marking the whiskey. Okay, that's fine. So, Bimber are a relative new kid on the block. And they are raising some eyebrows in the whiskey scene at the moment. And not in a bad way. It's not bad, is it, mate? It's not bad at all. I'll tell you what, why don't we get you to sit down? He's not going to sit down. There you go. I know. Welcome to Whiskey with Cats. Come on, don't sniff that. You don't want it. I do. So, Bimber, as I was saying, is a distillery located in London. And he's back. And this is their second release. I think the first release was mid-2019. This was actually released in October 2019. It's like a bagpipe, isn't it? Don't want to squeeze it too hard though. There. Now, I'll hold the bottle back up. So, as you can see, this release is called Bimber Re-Charred, and that is because the entire maturation has occurred in recharred casks. Now, recharred casks are becoming quite popular in the industry at the moment. It's not like it's a new thing, it's been around for a while. And a recharred cask is quite simply a cask that's had a little bit of a life. They then take that cask and re-char it. So that's basically refiring the wood on the inside. And that basically caramelises the sugars in the wood, which will impart a deeper, richer, more intense flavour into whiskey. Now, this is a 3-year-old whiskey, so it's going to take something with a little bit of meat to it to kind of like impart some intense flavour. Now, the thing with that as well, on the flip side, there's a lot of companies out there that say, the wood is the most important part of the whiskey making process. It is an important part, it is not the most important part. Because to create a great whiskey, you need a good base spirit. There's only so many faults that a cask can hide. You can have the best, most intense, from the best bodegas in Jerez, the best sherry cask in the world. That is not going to save you if you've got a shit whiskey to start with. It's not going to save you if you're making poor spirit. Now, I can safely say, before we even get kick-started at this review, and before Winston knocks this over, or just basically covers me in cat hair, like he's doing a pretty good job of, is that the guys at Bimber are making some very good base spirit. So without further ado, this is bottled at 51.9%. There are 5,000 bottles. I can't work under these conditions. 5,000 bottles, and this retails at £65, doesn't it? So I bought this from Bimber Direct, pretty much as soon as it was released, and they very kindly sent it up to me. And normally, do you know what? I probably wouldn't spend 65 quid on a 3-year-old whiskey. I'm not stingy, well I am, but I think, do you know what, maybe give it a few years, see what they come out with. But I heard so many good things about this and what they're doing there that I thought, do you know what, I will take a punt. It's basically bottled at a good strength, 51.9%. I've got bottle number 2,972 of 5,000. It's not a bad number, that, 2,972. And come on, mate, we're gonna reach an impasse here, aren't we? There's only so many times you can rub me. There's only so many times, mate. So many times. Natural colour. Cast strength. Look at those legs on there. Look at that. Now, normally I take the piss out of a whiskey's colour, but given that's all au naturel, and it's from London, let's say it's Regal Gold. Thanks, Queenie. So, on the nose. Easy now. Easy now. So, there we go. Just use him as a table for a minute. And there you go. There you go. He's currently clawing the shit out of my legs, but that's fine. Oh my days. Oh my days. Right. Yeah, it's good enough. Right. This is basically, I'm sure Willy Wonka works here, honestly. We've got a lot of chocolate. A lot of chocolate. We've got Chinese 5-spice. We've got a lot of Chinese 5-spice, right? We've got coffee. Intense coffee. And just wonderful, sweet, smoky toffee. It's not a peated whiskey. This is unpeated, but I cannot believe this thing's 3 years old. This thing belies its age. It really does belie its age. I mean, Winston's likes it. He loves it. Look at him. Absolutely conked out now. You would not think that this was 51.9%. Don't get me wrong, guys. It's got a prick to it. It's got, well, yeah, there's only one prick in this video. It's got a prickle around the nose. It's going to have that. You know, it's high strength alcohol at the end of the day. Let's not forget that. But it's so well controlled. It's so well crafted. It's very well honed. Maryland chocolate cookies. Hot baked rye bread, still warm, lots of salted butter on there. That's it, bugger off, don't knock it over. There are plenty of other cats at RSPCA, just saying. And again, that lovely kind of spiciness, that almost oriental element to it. Very, very difficult to finger up. You're right there. You've been in this, haven't you? You stay here, knocking things over, eh? Haven't you? Yeah. Right. It will now taste like tabby. Go on, bud. Go on. Have a run around. There we go. So, onto the palate. Let's give it a go. I am trying it without water first. Wow, okay. I'm going to sack a right knob. Ethiopian black coffee with brown sugar. Now, the reason I say Ethiopian black coffee, I'm a bit of a fan of Ethiopian coffee. I don't really like Southern American coffee, I like African coffee. And Ethiopian coffee has this lovely kind of lime flavour generally. It's kind of light, citrusy, but it's got a nice little bitterness in there as well. And you've also got Demerara sugar, hence the black sugar? Hence the brown sugar, black coffee brown sugar. And you do have that intense sort of spiciness. It's like opening my spice cupboard upstairs, and it's just, you've got cinnamon up there, you know, you've got nutmeg, you've got that Chinese 5-spice that I mentioned before, or allspice, I think it's also called. Oh, wow. Also, lovely, lovely oily mouthfeel. knocking lamps over. Okay, this is going well. This is going really well. This is almost not quite as bad as the Dalmore review. Look back through the archives, it'll be about 3 years ago now. And this thing jumped from there to there, knocked over all my bottles of whiskey, and just basically crashed to the earth. None of the whiskies was hurt, neither was he. It was all fine. It was just, I saw it coming, and I was powerless to stop it, wasn't I? Oh, wow, right. A lovely milk chocolate buttons, pepper, cherry cola bottles, you know, the fizzy Tangfastic cola bottles, and the little Tangfastic cherries. There's a lot going on for such a young dram. I think already, I mean, I've just put a bit of water in there. It's already safe to say that this is really good quality spirit. It's like I said right at the start, you can use all the casks in the world, right? you can only mask so much if there's imperfections in there. And I'm not saying the base spirit here is perfect by any stretch. It's right up my street though. It is fantastic spirit. They're clearly doing everything right. And they are doing things quite traditionally. Like direct firing their stills, for example, which not many distilleries do, because particularly for some of the bigger boys, it's not cost effective when you've got 4 stills or something in the still room. Do you know what I mean? They don't want to direct fire it, it's going to cost them too much to run in the long run. These guys are still relatively small as an outfit, so they can do that. They've got the time to take over long fermentation times and long distillation times and direct firing those stills. And I think that's really, really playing its part. And it goes to show already, even though this is 3 years old, this is a lot better than some of the whiskies from well-established, well-known multinational brands that you will no doubt have heard of. I will not name any at this point. Probably would have had a few more of these, given it's 51.9%, but that's for another day. Just lost a bit, went on the cap, it'll be fine. Right, so the water's been in there for a little bit now. Interestingly, it has changed the nose. There's still the toffee there, there's still a little bit of spiciness and a little bit of oriental kind of flavour. However, you've got a lot more red apple-led fruit. There's the cherries there as well. Has it softened it? Yeah, of course it's softened it. It's gone from 51.9% to whatever this is now. Certainly under that, after a few teaspoons. There's a really, really nice, deep, sugared barley note in there. Like, again, I think I mentioned in the last review, the Glenmarnock review, digestive biscuits. Now this is basically like artisanal digestive biscuits, if you will. It's like homemade, craft, hipster digestive biscuits, but they are there. Lovely, lovely chocolate orange note, gingerbread. On the palate, the ginger continues, the gingerbread continues. Interestingly, the texture, the mouthfeel hasn't actually been affected that much by those 3 or so teaspoons that I put in there. You've got some really nice oak influence in there, giving it like a really nice all-rounded, well managed experience, I suppose you could probably describe it. There's nothing unexpected here in the sense that there's no sharp bitterness notes, there's no sour notes, nothing like that. There's nothing untoward. It's just very well made, very well made. The chocolate and the coffee is still there, particularly the chocolate now that the water's there, going into that finish. Milk chocolate. Is it a little bit of white chocolate as well? No, icing sugar. Icing sugar. It's not quite as, buttery as white chocolate. Wow. Do you know what? I don't know if you guys are going to watch this at Bimber. Probably not. I've been out for a while, lost a lot of subscribers. Thank you to those of you that have subscribed recently and have stuck through it. Thank you very much. And again, apologies for the delays in starting the reviews. But if you are watching, guys, at Bimber, well done. Genuinely well done. Keep up the good work. That stuff is on point. That is phenomenal. That is really, really, genuinely good whiskey. I spend a lot of time in London with work and I'm hoping to make it to the distillery at some point because I can't wait to do that. That would be amazing. This stuff is fantastic and kudos to you. Well done. Those production methods that you've been using are paying off. They really are. Such a young spirit. If you put that in front of me blindfolded, I would not appreciate that that was 3 years old. I wouldn't. I would not. This thing belies its age. I'm not going to stick an age on it. I'm not going to say it tastes like a 12-year-old X or 10-year-old or whatever. This is not a similar style to Scotch whisky. I need to be clear about that. This is not like any Scotch I've ever tried. It's not like any Irish whisky I've ever tried. It's not like any Japanese or bourbon or rye or anything. that I've ever tried before. It's its own thing, and it's clearly carving its own place in the market, and that is exactly what we need. Why stick to conventions? Do what you want and do it well. And the guys at Bimber have done exactly that, so well done. And on that note, before I rant too much, I'm going to give this whiskey a score of 8 out of 10. Kudos guys, that is really, really good whiskey. I recommend to you, if you can still get your hands on this, even if you don't want to spend it and splash out full on a bottle yourself, split it with a couple of friends, you won't regret it. Thanks for watching, see you soon.